friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm doing a tag video. This tag was created by my friend. I call her the Queen of Color. You know her as Angelica Nyqvist or Angelica Nyqvist if we're really working on our pronunciation, which I am. Very simply put, this is new makeup releases, the tag. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things that came out in 2019. There are 7 questions here, and I did watch Angelica's video, so I have heard her answers, and I'm going to try my best not to be too influenced by them, but I do agree with her on some things. I have not yet watched her predictions video because one of the questions in this tag is predictions for next year. She has a predictions video out. I am dying to watch it, but I was waiting until after I filmed this so that I wasn't further influenced by what she had to say. So it will be interesting to see if we have any of the same predictions. I also saw that Karen Harris did this tag, so I'm going to link Angelica's video and Karen's video down in my description box. Please check both of them out. If you're not already watching them and already subscribed to them, you're totally missing out. They are 2 of my favorite creators here on YouTube, and I'm totally biased because they're both my friends as well. Let's get into the tag. Like I said, there are 7 questions. I'm gonna try to keep it short and to the point and not ramble too much. We'll see. We'll see how I do. The first question is, what is a mainstream release that lived up to the hype? The first thing that came into my mind when I was thinking about really hyped up mainstream releases, I thought of the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. I did a full review on this collection. I thought it was really well done. I'm not somebody who is a Game of Thrones fan. I know, call me crazy, it's just not my thing. But I felt like the collection was really well curated, great formulations, really beautiful, interesting packaging. All around, just a good balance in that collection. I was really impressed with it. I gave it a favorable review, and I really do think that it was very hyped and it was definitely very good. Question number 2 is an indie release that lived up to the hype. I have to agree with Angelica's answer. She said the Kaleidos Futurism palettes. I think this is one of the top releases of the year, not just indie, but all around. Everything is spot on, interesting color combinations, packaging is on point, formulas are stunning, really, really good price point for the product as well. I just think all around, super impressive release coming from a brand I basically knew nothing about. Really new on the scene. I actually just posted a video ranking my Futurism palettes, so sort of happy timing with that. Okay, sorry I had to steal Angie's answer, but she's right. All right, question number 3 is a release that did not live up to the hype. Angelica mentioned the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks. I think I would be remiss not to agree with that. I don't know a nice way to say that's probably one of the most botched releases of all time. It just didn't go well. It didn't live up to the hype at all. It was pretty hyped and it was not a pretty release. I also want to mention the Morphe foundations. Do you remember Morphe came out with, I think it was 60 shades of foundation? I personally never tried it, but I did see quite a few people talking about these foundations. It was poised to be a great release. 60 shades is fantastic. Morphe is known for being pretty affordable and pretty accessible, so it really could have gone well. And it seems like even their Morphe babes tried to give good reviews and still couldn't quite manage to give a good review. So that's sort of an outsider perspective because I never tried the foundation, but it seems like it was pretty hyped up. Then it just didn't really get great reviews, and then just no one ever talked about it again. Am I just missing something? I don't know. Maybe somebody really loves it, but it seems like it was kind of a flop. Okay, the next question is biggest curveball. I actually have 3 palettes that I want to talk about for this particular question. They're at varying degrees of notoriety, but they all really surprised me. So let's start with the most well known probably. The Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. When I saw pictures of this, I did not think it looked exciting at all. Thought it looked very boring. Hey, it's like a golden brown palette, whatever. But I ended up loving this palette, still love it. Definitely one of my top palettes of 2019. It was surprising in so many ways. Some of the best formulas that I've ever seen in an Urban Decay palette, and the colors ended up being so much more fun and interesting in person. So this is my first Curveball. Sort of the middle tier of notoriety is Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Celestial Storm palette. First Curveball was how gigantic it was. I was not expecting this palette to be bigger than my head, but here we are. This palette actually really wasn't getting great reviews. When I ordered this and I tried it, I really liked it. I continue to enjoy mixing these different shades and the different finishes. There are a lot of topper or like transformative type of shades in here, and I think people were giving this a bad review because they were expecting a straight metallic shimmery shadow. And a lot of these aren't that, but I actually don't mind that. I actually kind of love that about this palette, because it's so fun to mix these shades. I can create different looks every time. I'm always having fun with it. I'm always inspired by it. So this is kind of two curveballs in one, because first of all, it's giant. I was not expecting a huge palette. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, modern Renaissance sized. I really love this palette. I think it's great. I think it's a great palette. Last curveball for me. I really wanted to talk about this palette because I had never heard of this brand before. This is from the brand Solange. I believe they were started in Peru. I came across this brand and this palette in particular when I was at the makeup show here in DC. I was just browsing around. I saw this palette sitting out, and I'm pretty sure it was this shade right here. I just did a little swatch on their tester, and I was like, wait, excuse me? I was just absolutely blown away by the pigmentation, by the color selection. Just the way that this palette is put together, I think is so smart. It is a mainly shimmer palette, but there are two mattes here at the bottom, just some staple neutral mattes. This is so useful. It's so beautiful. It's really, really fun. The shimmers are insanely good in here. I was absolutely blown away by this. I immediately grabbed one because they were selling out so quickly. I paid for it, don't worry. I did pay for it. This really came out of nowhere for me. This is the definition of a curveball. I was not expecting how fabulous this is. I hope that this is available online. If I can find this online, I'll link it for you. Such an incredibly fun, fantastic palette. Okay, question number 5 is biggest letdown or biggest snooze fest? I'm sad to say I knew exactly what I was going to talk about as soon as I heard this question. For me, this is the eyeshadow palettes from the MAC Electric Wonder collection. Let me sort of elaborate here. The Electric Wonder collection has some of the prettiest packaging I've ever seen from MAC, and I love MAC limited edition collections. I have collected quite a few of them over the years, and this has to be one of the most stunning packaging designs I've ever seen. The lipsticks were great, the blushes were great. They had these shimmery, like marbled looking blush highlighters that were gorgeous. Then the eyeshadow palettes. First of all, just looking at the inside of them, they're very bland. They were going for a very like natural feel, but these were just so flat for me. And then on top of that, the products didn't even perform well, because I can get behind a great staple neutral palette if the formulas are bomb. It can be a staple in anybody's collection, but these just weren't, these weren't good. This ain't it. Sorry, MAC. I liked the rest of it, but oof, those palettes were rough. The cheek palette was pretty rough too, formula-wise. It looked pretty, but it just... The compacts were good, palettes not good. We are on question number 6. This is a fun one. It's best holiday release of the year. I actually have 2 answers for this. First, the Hourglass cheek palettes. I actually got the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost Unlocked, which is this larger one, and I got the blush palette, so it just has 4 blushes in it. Both are just stunning. Powders are gorgeous. I love using them every single day. This isn't very festive as far as holiday releases go, but it's definitely my favorite. Now, if we're going to talk about festive holiday releases, I have to say that the Too Faced Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette and the Too Faced Hot Buttered Rum palette, the small one, are 2 of my favorite very holiday-themed holiday releases. Too Faced gets a lot of flack for their holiday collections not being up to par formula-wise, and I only halfway agree with that. I think there are 2 very distinct holiday releases that come from Too Faced every year. There are these cutesy sets that have a million billion products in them, very, very Christmas themed, and they're either like Ulta exclusive or Sephora exclusive, and those don't really float my boat, honestly. I don't think those are for like makeup people like us, you know what I mean? Those are for people who buy makeup once a year or get makeup once a year as a gift, and that just is what it is. Then there are these other releases. They seem a lot more thoughtful in their design, and the formulas are way better in the things like the gingerbread palettes, the melted mattes. They come out with some limited edition melted mattes every year. These are very separate in my mind from those Ulta, Sephora exclusive sets that are just massive. That second group that I'm talking about, I think is really made for the makeup lovers, the collectors, the junkies, the people who really care about formulation and all those little details. And I do think that the Extra Spicy and the Hot Buttered Rum are 2 of the best holiday releases of 2019. Both packaging and formula, really good. All right, last question, we made it. Hopefully I haven't rambled too much, I probably have, but here I am doing it again. Okay, what are your predictions for releases next year? I have a couple of broader predictions. First of all, I think we're gonna see more skincare focused makeup products. So infused with skincare ingredients, like we've seen this boom of hyaluronic acid in things like foundations and concealers. I think we're really gonna see that up the ante in 2020 as people become more aware of caring for their skin. Sort of in the same vein, I think we're gonna see a lot more multitasker products. Maybe this is just wishful thinking because I love products like this, but I'm thinking these lip and cheek tints, really creamy products, balms that can also be highlighters and primers, a real emphasis on being able to use products in more than one way. As we see this rise of minimalism and declutter, I think it's really smart for brands to market their products as multitaskers because it makes them more integral to the collection. So I think we're going to see more skincare ingredients in makeup, more multitasking products. I also think we're going to see more small influencer collabs. Everybody's sort of catching on that the same, 10 or 12 or whatever big faces, big names over and over again gets tiring, and people are really coming to appreciate smaller influencers, micro influencers, and I think that companies realize that that's who we trust as customers, that's who we're looking to, that's who we feel connected to. So I really hope that this prediction comes true. I would love to see more small influencer collabs. And my final prediction, this is more specific. As we turn into a new decade here, I think we're gonna see more nostalgic collections. We've sort of been seeing this for a while, things like Hello Kitty, Pac-Man, Disney, but I'm thinking more nostalgic as far as decades past or eras past. I think we're gonna see things that are themed 1920s, Art Deco, retro 60s and 70s hippie vibes. We've kind of seen that with the NARS Studio 54 collection, and Give Me Glow did a grunge palette that's like 90s themed. So I think we're gonna see these nods to decades past and eras past. As the decade turns to 2020, we're gonna get some of these nostalgic and historical collections. That's my prediction. I have no insight or insider information into that. I just kind of think that would be cool and I think it would make sense. So that is all 7 questions. I will list the questions down in my description box. If you decide you want to participate in this tag, then I'm tagging everybody who watches this, you're tagged. Please go check out Angelica's channel. She is amazing. She is so funny and candid and just really smart and also super gorgeous to look at. Make sure you check her out. Go subscribe to her. I also want to hear what you think, especially if you're not going to make a video. Leave your answers down in the comments. I love to hear what you guys think about things too. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! The moral of the story is I don't know how to do thumbnails for non-product based videos. Off to a smashing start. Okay. Oh, I should have gotten a water. My throat feels a little dry. BRB, I'm gonna hydrate. Okay, I'm back. That's better. I thought of the Urban Decay, because it's my video and I can do what I want. Ooh, sassy. Okay. Tone it down a little bit there. Almost just threw it down. So excited. Okay. Whew. All right. How many synonyms for good can I use? At least 4. And I feel like focus. Does my highlight look good? That's the real question. Okay. So what's that? Oh my. Oh my. I talked for way longer than I thought I was going to. Way longer. Classic. I was like, oh, I'll film this in like 18 minutes. Okay, try doubling that. Have I had this hair stuck to my shirt the whole time? Could you even see that? I'm wearing my new sweater from my haul. Okay. All right. That's more than enough. All right. See you later. Okay, bye.